everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. I'm going to continue on with this Detective Hank in the Golden Sneeze. So we'll get right into it. Resuming game. Oh, what a great morning. In a few minutes we can open the doors. I hope we get some customers. With emphasis on the word hope. So, you must be Mr. Abrams. Who are you, and what are you doing here, little girl? Where is it, Mr. Abrams? What are you talking about? I guess you really don't know. Wait a minute, how did you get in here anyways? You left the front door unlocked this morning. I'll be seeing you soon, Abrams. A golden opportunity. I woke up early this morning and had a quick cup of coffee. The case is bugging me. How did the thief get in unnoticed? There are very few people capable of such a feat. They would have needed to know where security was at all times, and then strike at the exact moment they weren't looking. The drops of oil we found on the floor earlier might give us a clue as to tools the thief has used. Hey, hun, you forgot your hat. Thanks, son. I'm gonna need that in... Wait, what time is it? 1/2 late for work. Grr, I've been thinking too long. Oh well, I'll write it off as working on the case. Besides, the museum is close to our house anyways. See you later, honey. Aw, I'm gonna miss you. How come? We're never together on work days. I know, but I've suddenly got a couple days off. So we would have been together if you didn't have to work. I'm sorry, hon. I'm afraid I can't do much about it now. It's okay. I'm gonna go visit Dad and Dad at the robot factory. So I won't be alone at least. That's a relief, hon. I'm off. Take care. Good morning, Mr. Abrams. How are you Whoa, you don't look good. What happened? Detective, I'm afraid that my security needs more work than I thought. In this very room, a little girl snuck in and said hi to me before we opened. How did she get in? I left the front door open by accident. Did the girl have gray hair and a blue cape by any chance? How? How did you know? I didn't, but I do have a hunch that we need to secure this museum as quickly as possible. Mr. Abrams, do you have any place in your museum anyone in place to get your museum up to snuff? I have a couple of handymen, and I know someone who can get me some building materials. But I'll have to build a whole new wing to make this place secure. Where am I going to find the equipment to build it? Well, I might know someone. Never thought I'd give real estate advice. So, who is this people person? Mr. Abrams, do you know any terrible in-law jokes? Detective, I'm a curator, not a comedian. So no, I don't know any terrible in-law jokes. Good. My in-laws make enough terrible jokes already. Later? Hank? Henry? Mr. Abrams? What brings you to our factory so early in the morning? Paul, we need some equipment to fix the museum. Any suggestions? But of course. Walk this way, please. Our newest model here is the Goliath. It can pretty much do anything. Moving large objects, breaking down walls, and building them up again, or even expanding your building. You name it, it does it. You can't go wrong with the Goliath. That sounds like an excellent machine, Mr. Smith. But where am I going to put it after the renovations? Well, you could always just rent it, I guess. If that's fine with you, shall we start on the paperwork? I think we shall, Detective. I'll be right back with you. I'll see you in a bit, Mr. Abrams. The reason I first became a detective is hard to explain. Whenever something is stolen, the thief tries not to leave any clues behind, so the only evidence of change is the stolen thing being gone. Victims try to make peace with their loss, sometimes in vain, and that's where I come in. I use the thief's clues to try to make their crime undone, because, in the end, your property should feel as safe as it was before. The lady in a blue dress? Hank. Funny meeting you here. And then I found out my job was far from done. I was just going around with the boys looking at some of the equipment. We're gonna make my restaurant extra pretty. As long as you pay for the equipment afterwards, you can look as much as you want. You're no fun, detective. You know what? I will look at more equipment. Thank goodness she got bored quickly. I didn't want to have to deal with her shenanigans this early in the morning. Excuse me, detective. Mr. Abrams, I take it the paperwork went well? Yes, and with the museum being in the news lately, I could stand to make a bit of extra money. Hold on, Abrams. What are you saying? Does this mean that the heist benefited you? What's your part in this whole thing? Did you steal the golden sneeze for your own gain? I better get to the bottom of this. Talk about the news. The news was very eager to write about you, wasn't it? It's pretty morbid, actually. One heist, and suddenly you're in more newspapers than you could ever read in a day. They didn't write nearly as much about me when I paid for an advertisement. So the news was eager to write about you ever since the heist. Good to know. But did it benefit you? That's your next move. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm glad that, because of the news, a lot of people have heard about the museum. Aha! So news has brought you more potential customers. But did it help? I'm glad to hear that you're doing okay then. I'm glad that with the museum news, the number of visitors has picked up nicely. I've never had as many visitors as I did yesterday. It brought in quite some money. You've slipped up, Abrams. That sounds like a pretty good motive for the crime. But I'll still have to gather more evidence to prove that you had anything to do with the theft. Your in-laws are quite the couple, detective. What do you mean? I'm so happy for them. They can work together. I don't know many couples who could handle that. I have so much trouble entertaining the missus with tales from my work that I don't even bother trying anymore. What about you, detective? Is your partner interested in hearing about how you were punching the bad guys? Excuse me, did I say something wrong? No, Mr. Abrams, I just realized that I did something very stupid this morning. I won't pry, but it's best if you fix that then. By the way, detective, I'm heading back to the museum now. Would you like to ride with me? That's an interesting question. If I stay here, I can keep an eye on Saphira and maybe check out the robots a bit more. But if I go, I can check out the museum a second time, and maybe catch Tomoe again. So where shall I go? We're gonna go back to town. Why, thank you, Mr. Abrams. I think I'll take an extra look around the museum while I'm at it. Good, I'll tell the driver to get ready. I'll wait for you to say toodles to your family. Hon, I've gotta go. Yeah, me too. I've got plans with a friend. Oh, before I forget, I want to talk to you about something. Can't it wait? I'm in a bit of a hurry. I guess it can. I'll see you this evening. Later. I don't know, Mr. Abrams. Even with that robot, there's still quite a lot to do. Vents are opening up access to multiple areas, some walls are really thin, and I think one of your guards wanted money from me a while ago. I know, I've been quite busy lately. I wasn't paying enough attention to the state of my security. But we're working on it now, and that's what counts. So, is there anything else you want to show me, or shall I point out some things myself? think there are still some things to do upstairs. If you grab a notepad, I'll climb through the vents to see where they lead. I'm beginning to think I shouldn't have installed such high-capacity vents. Let me just check them first. The damage won't be that bad. Let's see. Uh-oh. I'm stuck. Could you give me a hand here? Later. Well, I'm glad we took care of all the nooks and crannies in the museum. Thank you, Detective. I feel much safer now that the museum security will be reinforced. You're welcome, Mr. Abrams. Goodbye. I'm glad that as a detective I get to keep the streets safe. Kaboom. Although this part of the street seems to be cursed lately. Me and my big mouth. Tomoe, I should have known. Detective, nice to see you. Have you found my sneeze yet? Or do I need to persuade you to work faster? Tomoe looks like she might throw that explosive in her hand at any moment. This isn't good. I need to calm her down and maybe try to get some information out of her. I need to diffuse the situation, so to speak. No, Hank, this isn't time for puns. That's your in-law's job. What should I say to her? Tomoe, about the investigation. Look, Tomoe, I know you're upset, but you can't rush police work. I just want to get my sneeze back. This girl keeps going on about that ancient relic being hers. What's that about? Tomoe, if you care so much about the golden sneeze, could you tell me where you were when it was stolen? I only heard recently that the sneeze was there. I was at the other end of town. I've been looking for it for a long time. So you probably couldn't have done it. Too bad you can't help me either. Well, I'm glad you couldn't tell me something without blowing anything up again. You're suddenly quiet. Sorry, Detective. You get to be my age. Your timing can be a little off. Age? You're a little girl. What do you mean by that? It means I've got plenty of time. I've got to run, Hank, but I'll see you later. No, wait. And she's gone again. Later. I was heading home when my phone rang. Hank, we've received an anonymous tip that the Golden Sneeze may be headed to Old Haversham. Given that there's a big black market there, it might be a good spot to check out. Understood, Captain. I'll take the next train over tonight. And then I suddenly spotted something from the corner of my eye. At the end of the street, I saw a scruffy-looking man holding a package. Excuse me, sir. May I see what you're holding there? It was clearly the Golden Sneeze, but before I could react... Sorry, buddy. They didn't pay me enough to talk to you. A car with a roaring engine and screeching tires drove by. A thug jumped inside it and escaped. I immediately gave chase. Unfortunately, I couldn't run fast enough or hail a cab in time, so the car got away. If that tip was right, I knew the Golden Sneeze was heading to the train station. It was time to recruit some reliable backup. Dum-dee-dum-dum-dum, doing normal things, la-la-la. Honey, I have to talk to you, it's really important. Honey? What's going on? You're making no sense. Well, do you remember how this morning you were free and I went to work and we barely saw each other? Yes. I should have asked you to come along with me. It would have been way more fun. Aw, that's sweet of you to say. But that's not all. I think the Golden Sneeze is headed for this train station, then to Old Haversham this evening. And you thought you'd take me instead of a policeman? Yes, I need someone I can trust and blend in with. Someone who likes to punch bad guys, maybe? Pretty much yes. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go, now! Too be continued. Vote to save your game. Okay. Save. Okay. I'm gonna stop the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll continue in the next video. If you enjoyed the video, like, favorite, and subscribe if you enjoy it. Thank you, and have a great day.